Hey guys, so welcome back to my channel. Today I am going to be creating this really nice soft spring look, and I'm doing it all with drugstore products. So you can get everything at your local Target, Walgreens, CVS, Publix, you know, wherever you normally shop. It's very affordable. It's not going to break the bank. And please don't forget to like and subscribe. And if you guys have more suggestions on other videos, please suggest them below. So if you like what you see, please keep watching. Okay, so let's get started. I just put my hair up. We're actually going to start with my brows first. So for my eyebrows, I'm actually using it's by e.l.f. and it's almost like a dip brow. This is a really good dupe for that Anastasia Beverly Hills dip brow. You get a lot of product. I use this pretty often, so I'm just going to fill in my brows. I use like an angled brush with like a spoolie, and I know that this one is by Morphe, so I bought this one online. However, I think e.l.f. has one very, very similar. Okay, so we'll get started with the eyes and then we'll do the rest of the face in case there's any fallout. And I'm like super excited to talk about what I use on my eyes for this look, so I kind of wanted to do that first. To prime my eyes, I'm actually going to use the concealer that I'm going to use later, which is just the e.l.f. 16-hour Camo concealer. So what you can do is just put a little bit on the back of your hand like that. I like to use my finger, clean hands, obviously, and I just go right in. For my eyeshadows, I've talked about this in another video and I really wanted to use it in a tutorial because I just love these eyeshadow palettes. I talked about them before. So the e.l.f. They're like, what are they, $4? $3 for 4 eyeshadows. Absolutely love them. This is the one that I'm going to use today. This is in the color Berry Bash. So I'm actually going to start out with this color right here, and I'm going to kind of put it over that concealer just to kind of blend everything out. That you know, you don't wear a lot of eyeshadow, you kind of want to get into it, you kind of want to try and experiment. Now's a really good time, right? Like, try it out with a $3 palette, kind of play around with the colors before you decide to, like, you know, splurge on a really high-end one. You really can't go wrong with this price. Kind of one like this one's actually by e.l.f. and I'm gonna put it back into that color, and I'm gonna kind of create like a base, and I'm gonna kind of like concentrate the color right in here. And you'll kind of see that I'm like kind of building that, right? So if you look at my eyes, I have like pretty hooded eyes and you can't really see my eyelids. So I always have to kind of like create that so that you can actually see more color. Then I'm actually going to go in with this color right here. And I'm actually going to be using a more dense brush that's a little bit smaller. It's almost like a pencil brush. I'm going to create kind of like a V on the outside. And I'm going to go right in here. And I'm going to go right like that. So already you can kind of see that it's like darker on that edges and like lighter on the inside. I'm going to go in with a clean brush now and just kind of like blend it out, but very, very lightly, right? Like we don't want to remove any of that darker color. And you can see that there's a little bit of fallout, but it's not bad at all. And then I'm going to go in with this shade right here, which I think on camera it looks a little bit more pinky, but it's actually a little bit more like rose gold orangey. And I'm actually going to use my finger because it's almost like a pressed powder. I like to use my finger when I go in, so I'm going to kind of, you know, just warm it up a little bit. And then I don't like to go all the way in. I kind of like to put it right in the middle over there. Kind of like that. And I don't like to go all the way in because I like to keep this inside really light. And you'll see that I didn't take it all the way out. I kind of still like that darker color on the outside. I'm going to go back in with that lighter shade and just put it on the inner corner. But I'm not going to concentrate too much because actually I'm going to use a little bit of my highlighter to highlight that inside as well. I'm gonna move on to the rest of my face, and I'm gonna come back and do my eyeliner last. I just like to use my eyeliner last. I like to kind of put my concealer and everything and take away all of that extra like fallout and everything, and eyeliner is something like that I like to put all the way at the end once the rest of my face is complete. Okay, so to prime the rest of my face, I'm going to be using the PIXI Skin Treats Glotion Day Dew. To color correct under my eyes, I am going to be using the NYX Dark Circle Concealer Corrector. Looks like this. And I'm just going to use a flat brush like this to put that on, but you can easily also use your finger. And I just put that right on. And then I'm going to be putting my foundation over this. So for foundation today, I'm going to be using the COVERGIRL Vitalist Healthy Elixir, and I am in the color Soft Honey. This one I really love. I know I have another video where I kind of talk about why I love this one so much. It does have an SPF. I've been using this one from the drugstore pretty often. So I'm just going to pump some on the back of my hand, put it all over, and kind of get going. Just about, I would say, like that much. And feel free to, like, you know, build as much more as you want. You are not swiping through, and that you're really just like dabbing everything on. That's gonna help you get that really nice airbrushed finish. And a lot of people say, like, you know, they don't put foundation all the way under their eyes. I agree with that. The reason is, like, I put my color corrector under there, so I had to kind of put my foundation over it. So color correcting is one thing that I do not skip on for myself. And that's specifically because if I just put my foundation on, it will be very gray under my eyes. I think in the beginning of this video, you saw that my under eyes are pretty prominent, and I've kind of accepted that. I've just found what works for me. So I have to color correct, and you'll see that it's not so like dark and gray under my eyes anymore because of that. I could actually skip foundation or skip concealer, but color correcting, I always do have to do. I have like a cut under my eye right here, which is, you know, people are probably like, what is that? But I do have a cut that's like healing. I think I scratched myself or something. So that is healing. It's not an open wound, but that, you know, it's kind of catching a lot of my corrector, my foundation, and my concealer. So it just is what it is, and we're gonna keep going. So I'm gonna go in with this e.l.f. 16-hour Camo concealer that I just showed. I love this concealer. It's an excellent dupe for the Tarte Shape Tape. Put a little bit on the back of my hand, and I'm gonna go in with that same brush that I used earlier. I just cleaned it off, and I'm gonna go in and kind of just put it underneath where I need to. So I like to let my concealer kind of sit on there, and I'll go in and kind of contour my face if I'm going to be contouring for that day. If I'm not, I just kind of skip the step. What I do like, and I wanted to show, is this L'Oreal Infallible Longwear Shaping Stick. It's one of my dupes for the Fenty contour stick, but I really love this one. Actually, I've had this one before I got the Fenty one. So I've been using this one for quite a long time. I will say that color-wise, it's a little bit more of that like orangey brown and not so much of that like gray brown that a lot of contour sticks are, but I really like it. So I'm gonna go in with a brush like this. This is by Real Techniques, and I really like this brush. I'm just gonna take a little bit, and I like to kind of start at my hairline, and you can see that it's already building. Like, it's very, very pigmented, and then I like to kind of bring it in. To set my under eyes, and you can use this to also set your face, but I'm gonna go in with the Maybelline Fit Me in the color Light Medium. I love this one. I know Ami Desai on Instagram has recommended this. Several YouTubers absolutely love this one. I really like it as well. I will say that it's not as finely milled as some of the high-end setting powders, which is one of the things that I don't like about it, but I've kind of learned to like how to use it. So I can't necessarily go in with my beauty blender because I think it really gets a little bit cakey for me. So I found the brush that I love to use with it, and it's this e.l.f. highlighter brush. Go in and just put it all over, tap it off, and then I just press it right in there. And excellent. Like, I think I was not the first person to find this. I used Ami Desai's technique because she uses this brush as well, and it's worked so well for me as well. And this is an e.l.f. brush, so it's not some high-end brush. So now I'm gonna move on, and for my blush, I'm gonna use my e.l.f. blush palette with the 4 colors. This is in the color dark, but there is another one with other colors. These colors are so stinking pretty. I'm gonna go in with these 2 colors right over here. And I like to put them right here. So I don't like to put it here. It's like I touch it right here. And so for a highlighter, I'm going to be using this L'Oreal True Match Lumi Shimmerista, and this is a dupe for one of my NARS ones that I absolutely love. It's a rose gold highlighter, super pigmented. I swear they could charge so much more for this highlighter because it acts like such a high-end highlighter, and I just love it. Small brush to kind of put into my eyes on the inner corners to kind of bring that out and kind of highlight that. I'm going to use a brush like this, really tiny one, and I'm actually going into the cap. And I'm going to highlight this fluffy brush, and I'm also still going to use what's in the cap because I feel like a lot of it just retains in here, and I kind of like to go right in there. Now I'm going to go back to my eyes and kind of finish up with the eyeliner and all of that. So the first thing I'm going to do is actually tightline my eyes, and that's because I don't have really voluminous long lashes. So when I tightline, it actually makes my lashes look a little bit fuller. So I kind of like to start out with that. This one is the Maybelline Long Lasting Matte. I have to kind of give a shout out to this liner because I absolutely love this liner that I'm about to use. It's the Wet n Wild Megaliner. It's probably like $2 or $3.99. I don't even know. It's super dark, super matte, and there's a really, really nice felt tip on it. Okay, so I got my eyeliner on. It's just kind of like drying right now. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna curl my eyelashes and put some mascara on. Okay, so moving on to lips now. To line my lips, I'm going to be using the Maybelline Line Stylist. It kind of looks like this. For the springtime, I like to actually go in with more glossy lips. I don't personally love a matte lip. I am a very glossy girl kind of look. So I'm going to actually be going in. This is the L'Oreal Color Rich Balm in Heavenly Berry. And then on top of that, what I actually did, because I looked in the mirror and I was like, it's still a little bit too light for me, I need a little bit more color, is I added this ColourPop Just a Tint. And I recently got this and I've been using it. I kind of keep it in my purse, and I just think it gives me a little bit more of a pop of a color. But it is like a gloss, so it's not going to stay on all day, but I like it. It's not sticky, and it comes in like kind of like a pencil crayon form. To finish up my look, I'm going to go back to my eyes and just add a little bit more definition on the bottom. So I'm going to use kind of like that little tiny pencil brush that I used earlier, and I'm going to use this color that we used down the middle. I'm going to use in the middle of my bottom lash line, and then I'm going to go in with this color on the edges. And there you have it. I feel like that makes such a big difference when you add that in there. Whole look, I like to spritz my whole face. This is the L'Oreal Lumi Shake and Glow Dew Mist. And that's the final look, guys. So if you guys like this spring look, definitely like and subscribe below. And you know, we're all sitting at home right now, so it's a really nice time for everybody to kind of experiment and play with some makeup, especially if you've thought that in the past there was never time for this. Now's the time, guys. Now's the time. Have a good one.